Hi everyone, this is Saba and welcome to another episode of Working Smarter, Not Harder. Today we're going to take a look at how you can access your textbooks and other readings from the Norris Medical Library and use the Evernote web clipper where you can send them straight to Evernote and then annotate your readings. So let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to start off by signing into Medical Norris Library. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Norris Medical Library. And one of the first things I'm going to do when I come here is I'm going to go overhead and select the Students tab on my right hand side. Now that I've gone here, in our case, we're going to go ahead and select Physician Assistant. And now you can see I have a list of all of the different ebooks that are available to me while I'm a student here at USC. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at this one over here, Current Medical Diagnosis and Treatment. I'm going to tap on the title once more. So let's go ahead and just work with Chapter 1, Disease Prevention and Health Promotion, and when I click it, what's going to happen is the chapter is going to go ahead and open up for me. I can see here now I have my whole chapter here, and what I'm going to want to do now to send this to my Evernote, I'm going to want to come up over here to my Chrome browser, and I'm going to want to go ahead and tap the Clip to Evernote extension. When I tap this, I'm going to get another window, and one of the options is going to be to select Simplified Article. Now the reason I want to choose Simplified Article is because you can see over here it's gotten rid of all that other stuff that was on the page and I have just my pure and simple text. Now that I've chosen Simplified Article, I have a few ways to organize my note in Evernote. So I'm going to go ahead over here and choose which notebook it is that I want to put it into, and I'm going to choose USC. And then here if I want, I can add any tags. So maybe I'll just say Disease Prevention, Access Medicine, just so that I know that this is where I am. Now that I've selected my tags, I can go ahead and hit save, and you'll see it's syncing it to my Evernote notebook. Now when I get to this window, I have a couple of options, and the one that I think is the most significant is this one right over here, which is the reminder. So I could go ahead and add a reminder, set a date, and say, okay, on Wednesday, that's when I want to be reminded about this because that's when I know my study day is going to be, and that's when I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. I could also, if I want, share this out with people. So on my social media, I could mail it, I could share the URL. And you'll notice this little icon right here with the arrow going in the window is the Evernote work chat. And so if I click this, you can see over here it's going to pull up a window for me where it's going to say, who do you want to send this note to? So I can put in somebody's email, I can connect to my Google so it can automatically pull up my contacts. Over here it's got a link to what it is I'm sending. I can go ahead and edit an invite, I can just edit, or they can just view. I can type in a message saying, hey, I saved this reading, here you go. So a great way to sort of send this out to your friends, click send, and it will automatically go to their Evernote notebook as well. You can discuss the article in the chat and all this other fun stuff that you can do with it that we'll talk about a little bit later. But from there, what we're going to do is, okay, we know now it's in our Evernote, so let's go ahead and go to Evernote. And over here in Evernote, you can see, sometimes if you don't see your article, these little arrows up right here will just sync it for you. But as you can see, it came up, and here we have it. And you can see now I have a lot of options for what it is I can do. So what you'll notice is that it hasn't necessarily turned it into a PDF. It's just saved it directly in as a note. So I can go ahead and add information if I want. I can go ahead and, I can change the color. I can do other sorts of fun things over here as well. Don't forget, up over here I also have my highlighter icon, so if I go ahead and I tap that, I can go ahead and if I go ahead and I tap my highlighter, I can go ahead and highlight items, tap the highlighter, and you can see I can go ahead and highlight items in here. But let's just say that perhaps those editing features are not exactly all that you were looking for. You can actually come up over here to the right-hand side and annotate this note. Now this is a premium feature, and so if you've signed up for the premium account, you can go ahead and tap this, and it will say, would you like to annotate your entire note as a PDF? Go ahead and select that, and it will now turn your document or your note into a full-fledged PDF that you can now work with. One of the things I might recommend is you might want to go through and just sort of delete any sort of things that maybe perhaps are not necessary to your article, and then you have all of the standard Evernote features for annotation. So let's just go ahead and say, maybe I want to add a little note over here, and maybe I'm going to say, this is an important topic for the next test. And remember we can always change sort of the way in which it writes. So if I kind of click back in here, you'll notice up over here I've got this little A, so it can either make it sort of like stand out a little bit more, or it can make it plain text. If I want to make my writing a little bit bigger, remember I come all the way to the bottom over here, select the size, and boom, I can make it a little bit bigger, and I can check it's a bit too big. There we go, so we can go ahead and do that over there. Maybe I want to add a little sticky note as a reminder. Maybe I have a question on this, don't really understand what it is exactly that we're saying. Again, when I double click the sticky, the little A comes up. You can go ahead and write question for exam. So that way you have a little reminder to yourself to go ahead and remember to do that. Remember, we also have our editing features. We've got a marker where we can just circle directly onto the page, or we can go ahead and select the highlighter. Maybe I want to change the color, I've got too much yellow going on. Let's try an orange, and we can go ahead and we can now, make that a bit bigger. We can go ahead and we can now start highlighting different areas of our note. What's also really nice about this is, remember, Evernote has the annotation summary, so that you can actually see all of the different annotations that you've made right at the top of your note. So if I close this out, you can come back over here and you'll see I've edited my note just a little bit, and right at the top over here you can see it has an annotation summary for me. So once I'm in here, remember I can always delete annotations. All I have to do is click and delete, come back over. You're going to want to hover over the highlighter to make sure this little, 4-section arrow is showing. Go ahead, click and delete, and once I close it out, it will have saved and updated my summary. And that's it, guys. That's how you can go ahead and access your books online for free, bring them into Evernote, and go ahead and annotate them, and then study anytime, anywhere. Good luck, guys, and remember, you can always come and ask me any questions you might have. Study smarter, not harder. Till next time, goodbye.